All right, good evening. My name is SneakerQue, head media correspondent for my magazine, and head host for the social and LivehiphopDaily TV. So we're here today. We got some powerful black men in the industry, the music industry. Also, we have a pastor here. So we're going to shine the light on some of the things that's been going on in our community. So I'm opening up with a statement. For far too long, we have made countless accounts of deaths, brutalizations, and the racial profiling of black men at the hands of police. The vision for this forum is to open a dialogue in hopes of us uniting as a community in an effort to find a solution. Let's begin by understanding the everyday struggle of these affected most by these issues and work towards making a real difference. And that's why we're here. You know, we have a bunch of different people that have a voice. So we're gonna open up, I want each one of you guys to introduce yourself to the viewers and let them know something about yourself.
What up, everybody watching? My name is Drew Stevenson. I'm an actor. Been on the Vampire Diaries, Complications this year, Born Again Virgin. Work a lot, just all the entertainment industries, and just something about myself is, man, I'm really passionate about the less fortunate. So I'm definitely here for a reason, and I hope we can have a good conversation.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jermaine J. Young Carter, actor. I'm in the All Eyes on Me Tupac movie. I also work with Jamie Foxx, and a rapper.
Good day, my name is Sammy, singer-songwriter, from the bottom to the top, self-titled Sammy album, Kiss Me Through the Phone, etc., etc. But bigger than that, today I'm just here as a young black man advocating for positivity and change.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Willie Mays. I'm a pastor on the west side of Atlanta. And even more than that, I'm a black man that grew up in the murder capital of the United States, where it was said that if you were black and you were 18 or under, there's only two places you're going to be. So I was less than 10% that made it out. So I made it my personal mission to help save black men.
Blessings, everyone. My name is SneakerQue. I'm a songwriter and label executive, and something about me is, as of last month, my organization, Culture to Success, has fed well over 10,000 families, and that's something I'm grateful that we can do, and I'm proud that we were able to do.
My name is Stevie Baggs Jr. I'm an actor, author, speaker. I played 10 years in the NFL, CFL, owner of Dream Cafe, and I run a 13-year-old nonprofit called the CETA Foundation right here in Atlanta, in Florida, and Ontario, Canada. Just happy for this opportunity to bless our people with the fellow kings.
Hey everybody, my name is RL, singer-songwriter, one-third of the R&B group Next, and I'm here because I'm a father, and I'm afraid for my son, who's really a man now, and being from the Twin Cities and seeing what happened there already in Minnesota, I'm here because I'm scared.
How y'all doing? My name is Mike Sean. You probably saw me on a TV show called Lincoln Heights. I'm a young black man, son, kid, living in 2016 with all of this stuff going on. And I am the voice of my generation.
What's up, everybody? My name is Q Parker, singer, songwriter, 1/4 of the Grammy Award-winning R&B group 112. Founder of a men's organization here in Atlanta entitled Brothers United, and just so honored to be here with all these positive black men. We are the difference. If there's to be change, why not just start with us?
Appreciate that, guys. All right, so let's just get right into it. I want you guys to give your initial reaction to when you guys first woke up the next morning and heard the death of Alton Sterling, and then 2 days later, Philando Castro. We'll start with you, Q, since you got the mic. Now, what was your initial reaction to that?
The initial reaction is, I'm the type of person that before I react, I like to just assess the situation and really gather all of the information before I just react. And watching everything unfold on the news, as I began to get all the information, then I began to get upset. Because it showed that no matter what you do, even when you do the things that are required for you to do, it can still end up in a tragedy. Yeah. And for me, it really hit home because I was on vacation at the time of this happening, and my son was with me. And I'm like RL in the sense that when my son asked me what happened, I really wasn't sure how to tell him. And I knew that at that moment that I wasn't the only African American man who would struggle with having to explain to his 12-year-old or younger son, or son in general, why the authority who we've been taught as a young kid to trust, that they will protect us, why it backfired in the case. So it was something that I really wanted to get home quickly so that I can engage in the conversation and be a part of Who Such As today.
Definitely, definitely. Anybody else want to shine?
Me personally, I was really, I felt sick. Like I really felt like a knot, like in my stomach. And Philando's death really kind of confirmed something that came to me when I first saw Alton Sterling's, the situation that happened. It made me really understand that there's a spirit that's moving through the world right now that it's really bad. It's a really dark thing that's going on right now. Like even, I'm from California. I went home for a month, you know what I mean? And I'm walking around the streets, like downtown LA, and there's police officers walking by me, and I'm feeling goosebumps on my skin because I can feel the tension, you know what I mean? Like the eye contact, everything is just really like, there's a lot of tension, and it's very, it's not harmonious.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Not at all.
It's funny because the first thing I thought of was, okay, finally we have some footage. Okay, somebody's gonna go to jail because I know after, what happened before with another murder, with the other ones being in police custody, I'm like, okay, well there's a camera rolling, but then I think back to Rodney King and things of that nature. And when you start realizing that there aren't gonna be any consequences besides paid administrative leave, you start becoming angry and fearful. And lastly, what I started doing is reading these articles, but then I go down to the comments section. And the worst part is seeing people other than ourselves act as if we deserved it. And the comments that I read actually drive home even worse the condition of America and really what our status is. We fooled ourselves for a long time thinking that we come a long way.
Definitely.
We have.
Yeah. For me, it's one of those things where this is nothing new. We just have more exposure because of social media and everyone has a camera phones and things of that nature. Our people have been brutalized.
Definitely.
And this thing that we're dealing with is definitely spiritual warfare, but it's also systematic. Because there's a system in place to keep us disenfranchised and to not allow just us to kill one another, but them kill us and everything just be, lackadaisical, and we move on. But the proximity crime, which they call black on black crime, proximity crime is something that we need to address first and foremost, and for us to stop killing one another. And I think that's the biggest issue here, because if we allow ourselves to come together as the true kings we are, we'll have our own damn police where they can't touch us.
Definitely.
And it's not anything military, it's not anything from the standpoint of just being militant, but it's about first loving yourself. and I have something called the African American Repair Curriculum that we're working on, political, social, and economic. That's how we have to really change this system. Because we all know that it's systematic. But if a black man don't have work opportunities and they ribs showing, then they gonna try to go rob somebody else in their proximity.
Definitely. I like to say, that's like a big issue. You know what I'm saying? Because people that have a voice need to be able to create jobs. You know what I'm saying? Because that'll take some of these kids off the streets from robbing someone or robbing a young lady or doing these senseless crimes because they don't have food and stuff like that.
The truth is that's not true. I'll tell you why. I don't know when it became uncool to work hard and provide for your family.
Yeah.
So the truth is, we live in a Ciroc mentality where, what's next? What we got now? Where in our community, working hard and taking care of your family and being there for your kids ain't what's popping. If you ain't got a hot watch on, the newest J's, the hottest whip, then you're not cool. Cool is doing something illegal to get some real paper and not working a 9 to 5. So the truth is, we can say, well, the truth is, if we want to go back, systematically they put us in that position.
Yeah.
But we know that now.
Yeah.
I think when I first read it, I was disgusted. And I was disgusted because I'm raising a 17-year-old who now drives, who can easily be pulled over by the cops because he drives a nice vehicle and we live in a different area. Beyond that, I would say that people are very miseducated. Our history goes back about 400 or 500 years. If you look back in history, our relationship with authority figures 400 years ago was negative because they were our owners. You go into the 60s, they turned in their whips and they had sheets and they were noosing us on trees. And then you come to today, and like RL said, we have tricked us and think that we've progressed somewhere. Realistically, systematically, we haven't. And part of that is because the division that ultimately is in our community to some degree. And the problem is, I said to somebody, and it's the last 4 years of Obama's administration, the homosexual community got a whole bunch of laws passed. Why they did that is because they stood together and let no one divide them. They got 3 laws passed. They let nobody divide them. So what has to happen now is that we as African Americans, men, women, we have to stand together and we have to like, listen, this will not happen, this will not take place. Because we pay taxes, we have a right like everybody else. And the fact of the matter is that as long as we allow people, because we allow people treat you how you allow them to treat you. As long as we allow our elected officials to not be held accountable for what is happening to us in our communities, it will continue to happen. Everybody can be, I think we are all in our industries, and everybody won't be LeBron James or RLs. That's not the reality. Some people need to be our teachers, our principals, our pastors, our police officers, our mayors.
Yeah, apparently that's not good anymore, you know. And I think that's a good point that you talked about because it's just not cool to be a teacher or to be a basketball coach. You know, everybody wants the lights, the camera, the action. Everybody wants to be on the big screen. And those jobs aren't cool because what people see on TV with our kids, what they see, they got the newest J's, and they don't see the hard-working individuals such as the teachers that are people teaching our kids. You know?
I'm gonna say something, Pastor Mike. I know you personally. I know you're an educated man. I know that these brothers have gone and spoken at schools. I know 3 of these brothers, 4 actually, were doing an event I was doing Saturday to work with underprivileged youth and youth at risk. Little known fact is I got my associates in education. I got my bachelor's in education with a minor in child development and juvenile justice. I have my master's in child and family counseling. So it's okay to get a degree. I tell the kids all the time, I'm well educated. I was blessed enough to be able to go to take another route. But it's okay to have education. Education is the most progressive tool that we have. That is the one thing that they cannot take away from you. They put you in the ground 6 feet under, they're gonna have to say doctor, whatever your name is. At the end of the day,
I gotta say this too, King.
Yeah.
Education is for everybody, but school ain't.
This is true.
Especially in this system where you inflation on education and all our people, you have people going to college and going to university, and then they owe more money than they can make. You know, so I think what we were also talking about before this is people really finding out what their true purpose is in life. Just because you're gifted at something don't mean it's your purpose. I think a lot of times people really think that, oh man, I can sing, so I need to be on the stage. No, you can cultivate the person on the stage. You know, I can play football. No, you can be the coach. You can be the man who does our video. Like people, when I was in the league, the guy who does our videos made 6 figures. But our young people don't see that because the people that are celebrated in this system, that's all that they see. The cameraman ain't celebrated. the people on the field and on the court. So we have to be the ones to shed light and unveil the miseducation of what's really happening. I don't want me to take the time. Okay.
Part of what I think that we have to remember is that those that are doing these mass killings, they are afraid. I'll tell you why they're afraid. You got to remember that they came in and they drove out an indigenous people, number one. Oppression. They bring blacks over to oppress them. Tell Mexicans you're going to work for us. Oppression. Now all those things have changed. Those that they were oppressing are now leading them. There was a time when they were oppressing blacks, and now blacks make as much and more money than they do. There was a time when they were oppressing Mexicans. Now Mexicans and Hispanics are now getting ready to be the population while they're the minority. So they're afraid because everything that they have pressed down and ingrained in us as blacks and African Americans and all those things they call low-class citizens are now no longer low class. We're smarter than they are, we're faster than they are, we work harder than they are, and the challenge is this. We had more black marriages during slavery than we do right now. We had more relationships when we were oppressed than we do right now. And if our kids cannot look in a mirror and see somebody doing something that looks just like them, they're going to find something that looks like somebody else that's at least doing. And so why does this help us right now? Because we're the ones that they need to see. We've got to be the ones that are in front of the camera. We've got to be the voice. I tell my children, and my wife and I tell them, we're going to be the prevailing voice, not your teacher, not somebody else on the street. We're going to be the prevailing voice. Had to explain to my own daughter why when you're out, I won't go to bed and take off my clothes until I hear that door that you come in the house. Because the further you get away from the city, the worse it gets. I can tell you that secondhand. And you ask, how does it make you feel? I called every politician in and brought them into my building and set them down and held everyone accountable. I didn't care if they were white, black, Hispanic. I brought them all in. The only one that didn't make it was the mayor. While I may not be able to change the world and change world hunger, we can help change our communities. And to not say anything is to do the same thing as agreeing when you don't say anything, when you don't lift up a voice, when you don't make a platform, when you don't open your doors. If you're not saying anything, you might as well be agreeing with it.
There you go. Got something to say, Sammy?
Real simple, I felt hurt. I tried to vent a little bit via my Instagram and cried for real, in front of 137,000 followers, and I left it there. I've been racially profiled before. I fit the prototype, you know what I'm saying? I have braids and tatted up, but I don't have any criminal history. I went to high school, graduated, honors, had AP classes. I've been singing songs since I was 12 years old. I've dedicated my entire life to making people happy through the gift of song which God has given me. So I was offended that some way, somehow down the line, and people are saying it's old, but it's new for me. I'm 29. You know what I'm saying? My life isn't so disposable. It's not useless. You know what I mean? But they slay us like it is. So I felt hurt, and I still feel hurt because I honestly don't have the answers. All I do know is God gave me a platform to sing in front of thousands where I cannot speak about something that can change the world. It's not just about R&B music and plaques and then Billboard numbers. Like, me being in the business for so long, I see how disposable as artists they treat us. You know what I mean? So, as just a human being, I want to do my part. Like he said, I can't change the world. I know I can't. I'm one man, but I can help the community. I can help this. I go to Peter Street all the time. No security, none of that. This is the creative. I'm stopping here all the time. I'm at 255. I'm at supporting black businesses. Our influence collectively. Everybody on this panel brings something different to the table. And it has to actually last past this panel, by the way. We can't let this camera go off and then go back our separate ways. I go back to the studio, he go back to the church, he runs the cafe, and we don't talk, or we don't exchange numbers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the key. We talk a good one when we wake up and see somebody get shot for about a week. We talk a good one. And then the next one happens, like this back to back. A guy was kind of telling us, like, let me tell y'all something. It's not stopping. Somebody right now, is just no cameras on right now, they hit the net. Somebody's getting harassed as we speak. Some black innocent kid walking down the street, so I feel hurt. You know what I'm saying? I cried and I left it there to actually also showcase empathy, sympathy. Like social media has made human contact, we're so disconnected, we're so detached. It's all right to cry. It's okay to pray. It's okay to say, I don't have the answers. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to be vulnerable and transparent. So that's what I'm utilizing my plateau for, is to let everybody know it's okay to feel again. You know what I'm saying? I'm a human being. So just to sum it up, I was hurt when I see it. That was the expression I had.
The way I felt was honestly just hopeless. Just hopeless. Like, I just feel like this day and age, you know, that we're living in, it's just like, it's hard for a young black man, you know what I mean? And I personally have lived in New York City, in Harlem. I lived in LA, and I grew up in the 4th Ward, right here. So, and I went to Grady High School and everything, so I know this story all too well. I've been harassed, I've been arrested, you know, for BS. So, I definitely know this story way too well, and in fear. I feel fear for my life, you know, because I could be on the wrong street at the wrong time on the wrong night, and I could be dead just for that. Yeah. You know, that's it. So that's how I feel about it.
I agree with just about everything everybody said. It's just kind of been like a fear, you know? Like, how could somebody as passive, you know, as someone who works in a school full of children, driving home, he's got his baby and his, you know, got his fiance in the car. He's not trying anything with you. How could he get shot? Because I know if he can get shot, if, you know, a therapist can get shot with his hands in the air, if a little dude can get shot, I know I'm gonna get shot. Because I got a mouth. If a therapist is getting shot, I'm getting, you know what I mean? And it's scary. Because I got a little brother who's 23, and he's got a bigger mouth than me, you know? And I'm thinking about that, like, he's harmless. He's never been in a day in his life. He's harmless. Smart dude, but wrong place, wrong time. I might meet the wrong cop who had the wrong day, and you know, just that feeling, carrying that with you, just made me think of that quote, like, until the lion learns to write, the story will always glorify the hunter. Until we can change these laws, and until we can actually do something besides raise our fists and say Black Lives Matter, you know, I agree with it, and I'm right there with you because we're raising awareness, but now we have to change something, you know what I mean? So that's just kind of where my mind was going with that.
And I want to make a statement too, just, you know, what you said. I remember reading something, I can't remember who said it, but the system makes it seem like the policemen aren't human. They have bad days just like us. Now, you're a pastor, you have bad days. You know, you have bad days, you know, and we all have bad days. So they make it seem like senseless acts of violence can't happen by policemen just because they carry a badge and a gun. I mean, they could have had a bad day, argument with the wife, and next thing you know, go out and they took it, you know, might have had some type of hate in their heart to take it out on a black man and his kid, or a black man selling CDs. So like I said, like, you know, it is scary to be driving on these Atlanta streets and wherever we at as a young black person or a black person in general and be racially profiled. And you guys have nice cars and, you know, so you're a target. You know, we're a target no matter what. From the light skin to the dark skin, you're a man of color. You know, so, I mean, I know some of you guys spoke on some of your experiences and stuff, but like, what's the feeling? You know, because I know the feeling that I have, like, it's like an anger that I have when I get racially profiled for no reason. You know, I'm college educated, I went to school on a football scholarship, played a little arena football, and when I got done, you know, like, you know, I'm educated. But at the same point in time, when I'm just driving around here, I'm just a regular black man, you know? You know what I'm saying? They don't know who RL is, they don't know how many plaques you got on your wall, how many things you sold, because at the end of the day, they stop you because apparently you made some type of violation.
Let me ask everybody a question. I was taught you had to be smarter, quicker, more polite. Y'all thought that changed? The reality is this. I'm on World Star every day looking at fights, looking at kids, hitting teachers, everything, right, laughing. You don't, but we get mad when we turn on the news and they pull one of those clips up and they talk about us like we animals. We kind of endorse the activity. So I know when a police officer pulls me over, I'm scared because I'm thinking he's going to be just like the dude that shot Alvin or one of those cats. You don't think they might think I'm like the guy that put the gun out on them? The reality is we become the stereotype. And what I've learned is don't give somebody a reason. Are they wrong? Hell yeah, they wrong. But the truth is, we were taught, at least I feel, I'm 39, I know our generation was taught respect. Respect your elders. Even now, somebody might be a couple years older than me, I'm still like, yes sir, thank you sir. The truth is, that was lost somewhere. It ain't cool to be respectful anymore. And you're right, they're just looking for a reason. So if you're asking me, do I want to run my mouth because it's my First Amendment right? No, not if I'm gonna get shot. I'm gonna shut the hell up. And I know that seems like it's not right, but that's just where we're at. We thought we were above that. We haven't been. So a lot of times I see somebody, like there was a girl, she just got dragged out of a car for talking back to the cops. She got out like, what you pulling me over for? They shouldn't have threw her out the car and threw her on the ground, but I'm not giving you a reason.
I'm gonna hand it to you after this. I just wanted, because I went through it. So I just briefly said my situation, boss. I went to Orlando to see my little brother play his first freshman year high school football game. I wasn't gonna miss it for the world. So I drove down, saw the game, took him out to Universal to celebrate. Broad daylight, in a Camaro. Nothing fancy, no dark tints, no nothing. I'm sitting at a light, a black car pulls up to my right, another black car to my left. Automatically thought I was about to get robbed, so I do the natural thing and hit the gas. I'm cut off by a black SUV. That's too orchestrated to be, you know what I'm saying? So I just stopped. I just put the car in park and put my hands up. Before I could, my window was down, there's a gun. And a whole bunch of guys, cops. I didn't know they were cops till, like I said, the SUV pulled. There's a gun to my temple. To my temple. I felt it. This is the first time, the only time I felt I was about to die. I turned my head and he said, if I move again, he's gonna splatter my brains in front of the car. This is exact words, verbatim. And my little 14-year-old brother at the time was in the back seat. He wakes up and he's like, what you do? I'm like, boy, I was at the red light. You know what I'm saying? We just left Universal. I don't know what's going on. So I plead, of course, yes, sir, no, ma'am. Sir, can I reach for my license and registration? Are you sure I can reach? Because you told me if I move, you're going to blow my brains out in front of my brother. You said it. So I yes sir myself out that situation. I was able to articulate. He made me get out, search my car illegally, found nothing. And you know what they said? Oh, we sorry, have a good day. I didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't disrespectful. I didn't have time to be disrespectful. By the time things got real, there was a gun to my temple. So I hear you saying be respectful. I'm hearing you saying, I'm a blessed one though. Like that was more so favor than saying anything incorrect. I didn't do anything. I'm just saying now these days we just seen a therapist get shot with his hands up.
Right.
It's no one way to get shot. You can say all the right stuff. You can put your hands up. You can say, please, sir, no, ma'am, yes, sir, massa. You can do all that and get shot. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want, because I'm 29, you're 39, so even in my generation, I have manners. Yeah, I say yes, ma'am, yes, sir, open up doors for young ladies all the time, every day. I'm still in fear. Because I always will remember that cop that put his gun to my head for no reason. And all I got was we apologize. And they got in their cars and left about their day and went back to harassing other black kids in that community, I'm sure. And I'm left to just forever live with that image in our head. So it's not as simple as, yes, I'm here today to tell the story, but I'm sure there's we just seen people comply and they're lifeless now. You know what I'm saying? So I just want more so you gotta pray for covering and just pray for some angels to protect you, because it wasn't me saying yes sir. I've seen people get caught saying yes sir. Maybe I had a better cop that day, but I just wanted to be clear that you can do all the things right and still end up on the bad end of the stick. So that's all, because I was very mannerable, but like I said, I'll never get that image out of my head, and I comply and did everything they asked me to do.
Can I ask this question to you? And I'm not playing devil's advocate in this by no means. I grew up and I understand both sides of the coin. What I mean by that, I grew up in a house loving police. My father's a police. Matter of fact, the shooting that just happened in Michigan, my dad was in the courtroom. It was nothing but the grace of God why he's not dead. But let me say this, and this is the only way I know how to explain it. We have to become like white people. If your order's not right, complain. I had the issue happen in high school. The police didn't know who I was. Pulled us over, made everybody get out the car, took everything out, yada, yada, yada. And then my dad been in prison when I got home, was like, dude, what happened? And I told him what happened. The next day, those cops got fired. It didn't work for him, totally different place. And what they asked him, why did he identify himself as your son? My question was, why should I have to? But my point is, I'm to the point now, if a police is driving across the white line, I'm complaining. Because if we do it, we get pulled over. If a police say something wrong, I'm complaining. I'm complaining about everything. And my question is, a lot of times we're so happy I'm out of that situation that we don't take it to the next level. And that's for a number, I'm not saying you in general, I'm saying for a number of people, we get so happy that, you know what, I'm glad that this is not happening, I'm out of this, and we never take it to the next level. What I'm saying, as far as a move forward, we got to piss them off as much as they piss us off. And more than they do, because if we don't, they'll continue to think I can keep doing this, and they're not going to say a word. And I think, and I feel like that's where they are right now. They feel like we will never unite together, we'll never say anything about it, and so we've got free license to keep doing it because they're not going to do anything to change it.
And I also want to touch on, it's also the way the media depict us. You know, like the media make us animals. It's like a person you have your whole life, right? So of course you're gonna do some bad stuff. The only difference now is a lot of this stuff is getting caught on camera. You know what I mean? So after so they do kill someone, they make them out to be bad. He got into a fight and it was on World Star or something like that.
Skills.
Right. Oh, he stole Skittles. He's a gangster. You know, but if everybody had a camera walking, you know, with them 24/7, of course you did some bad stuff. So they depict us as animals and savages. So they put fear in white America. So they fear us. So since they fear us, and when the police take us out, nobody cares because it's like we're beasts, we're animals. So we just killed another animal. It doesn't matter. We're saving you guys, really. So that's what I want to say.
One of the words that always comes up in my head is accountability, and you know, everybody has kind of spoken on it earlier about some of the things that needs to be done in order for us to have change. And one of the things that always comes to my mind is understanding that we can make the difference and we can be on the front line of change, but it starts with voting. It starts with contacting the city councilman so that you can understand and they'll know what your issues are. And I'm like you, Pastor, complaining. Because at the level that we are now, there is no accountability. You know, you talk about the cameras on the cops. You know, make that mandatory. All the money that we all pay in our taxes and all that kind of stuff, from the top of the chain, we have to start there first. And it starts with voting. But you have to understand the system. During the seasons of voting, you know, it's almost like they say, go out and lock up as many brothers as you can. Hit them with a felony, right? Because if you have a felony, you can't vote, which means now your voice is not heard. So now, exactly. So then it's a challenge to yourself to say, you know what? And keep myself out of any of those situations. So that part of me that can be a contribution to the change won't deter me or won't keep me from hearing my voice being heard. Then furthermore, like I said, know who your city councilmen are. Know who the people that are in your community so that you guys we can all man together and we can say, this is what we want. Have them go to the leaders who in the legislature to actually implement these laws so that in addition to us protesting and rallying and all that kind of stuff, we're actually going to the people that can really make the changes. Because for me, it just goes back to accountability. If there's no way for them to get fired without pay, lose their job, and all this kind of stuff, it becomes just a slap on the wrist. And the only way that it can become something mandatory is if you make it a law. And if you don't make it a law, it's just we fussing about it, complain about it, and then it'll happen again. And we fuss about it, and we complain about it again, and then it just continue to happen until we understand we got to know the game. Know the rules of the game. Know the rules of the game, and we can cry, we can yell and scream as much as we want to, but But if we don't understand the rules of the game that we're playing today, if I'm on a basketball field, a basketball court, and I'm playing football rules, we gotta wise up and just understand the game that is being played today.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
And not to cut you off real quick, I wanted to say something. And I definitely agree with everybody, what everybody's saying. It's social conditioning. I can definitely say I'm an example. It wasn't until about a week ago I was having a conversation with a mentor of mine, and I was telling him, like, he asked me if I was going to vote. I was like, I'm not going to vote. I don't really think like it matters. Like, Republican, Democrat, like, what does it really even matter what my vote is? And through him telling me the rules of the game, it made me realize, okay, I was no longer an example. I was no longer a product of this social conditioning. You know what I mean? Because I made a choice that, yes, consciously, if we put ourselves in the system and play the game how we want it to be played, we're going to have the results that we want. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to say that because I wanted to say I was an example of that.
Like behind the scenes, man, like who's the guy in the top in the head office? Like where's that guy? Who's making up like you see what I'm saying? But the only way you can find out who that guy is or who those guys are, you gotta go at it from your community level, then from like because if we continue playing the game that they're dishing out of us and not willing to find out like it's almost like football. We're all athletes, we don't play sports, right? We all know that the quarterback don't necessarily make the play. It comes from up top somewhere, right? Then they send it down to him, and they send it down to him, and you got the man on the sideline doing all this stuff right here, and he's sending the play. We gotta figure out the way to get up to the top, man, and the only way we do that is understand who's running for these positions. Know what they're about. Look at their background. What laws have they passed in the past? Or what city did they come from? What community did they come from? And what kind of changes did they make in that community? Because I know so many are like you. All right, I'm a Democrat, so I just go down the line. But man, the only way we're going to really see the change that we are longing for, we got to find out who these people are in our districts, in our communities, in our cities, our mayors, our governors, and figure out what are they about, man, because they may support cops not being accountable. You just never know, man, so you got to find stuff out.
It's about a check, though. Yeah, what I was saying earlier to you, or to everybody about accountability, and all I'm saying is, don't give them a reasoning, and my reasoning is this. They're looking for something to take the blame off them. We didn't put the 2 on there. All we're saying is Black Lives Matter. That's what they're saying. And what is marching? Marching means being in sync. So when there's people in the march saying kill pigs and these different things, they're gonna zero in on the few people that aren't acting right to say they represent all of us. So when I say show respect, I'm not saying that that's gonna totally save every life, but I will say that it better your chances. That's all I'm saying. Because the truth is, we live in a time where I see kids not being respectful to their parents. So I know darn well they're not being respectful to people out in the street. And there was a time when, right under military, cops was distinguished. Like, there was a cop in your neighborhood, you respected him. And you're right, you could have got arrested, but he took you home instead because he knew you was going to get a whooping, so that was worse. Right. Now, most of the cops that are policing your neighborhood aren't from there. So they don't care anything about the neighborhood. They probably are mad that they've been assigned over here. So you already in a lose-lose.
But like you said, though, I understand where you're coming from completely, because we all grew up on the respect. Yes, sir, no, sir. That was a way of showing that you came from a good home. And some people, they take real good to respect. They respond well to respect. But then I understand what you putting your foot down. Telling them, hey, we're not gonna just be ran over. And I think all of us here, we have some good points. But what do we feel is the solution? Like you said, you made a good point. It's far away from us to just leave here and then, never talk again. And so what are we going to do? So what is the solution that we can put into place?
I know you want to say something. For me personally, Number one, this is just before I say this, my truth doesn't have to be the truth. And you don't have to agree with anything I say. But economic, political, social. So let me tackle economics first. Number one, we got to start spending our money with our people. And stop wanting to give money to every other culture and creed and ethnicity. It doesn't mean we don't love other people. It just means that we first love ourselves. I have an acronym called FLY. In order for us to really take flight, we have to first love ourselves. But I'll give this panel as an example. 1/3 of the panel has access. 1/3 of the panel has influence. The other third of the panel has resources. But if I'm grinding in my resources by myself, I'm just a rich dude that has no access. Excuse me. Or I might just be a rich dude that has no influence, right? But what if I got influence and no resources? So we get it. So when you first love yourself, I can partner with Sammy. I can connect with Kwame. I can connect with Q. And I don't have to be the big stick. It don't have to be Cedar Foundation name on the wall. It don't have to be Dream Cafe name on the wall. It don't have to be Stevie Baggs name on the wall. That's our problem. It got to be my church and my this and my ideology. First, we got to do what Malcolm X did. He got with King, and that's why they killed X, because he put ideology aside for the betterment of our people. The middle of the word religion is the word lie. In the middle of the word television is the word television, really, which is telling us a line of vision that ain't real. So our people need to wake up. We got too many sheeples. So religion and television tells these lies and these visions that are not real. That helps shape most people's belief system. In the middle of the word belief is lie. So our people being lied to, and we've been believing a lie, so we don't know the truth. How can you be the most powerful people in the world, yet the most oppressed? We're the only people in the world, I always say this, who hair grows up to God, everybody else hair grows down. But we don't know our true power connection to the Creator. But then the second thing is, to me, from a government, political perspective, right wing, left wing, same bird, to me. So these people are in bed together. They play golf together. They can be a Republican, Democrat. So for me, I don't see that on a high level. On a local level, I do vote locally. To me, I think local level, local government is where we can make our most impact. But we have to first unite as a people, as us, man. We don't love one another. You won't see another black man come up to another brother and say, "What's up, King?" We too busy calling what Tupac had to change to never ignorant getting goals accomplished. We too busy calling each other niggas and fuck niggas and all this and all that. We don't even love each other. The queens are separated. Our queens are disenfranchised. So if we cannot have unity amongst this AIR, we'll never take care as a people, because we gotta first love ourselves. And just to hit on what Q was saying about the government piece, that the only way we can make true changes is if we have a flag. If we have a flag, I'm talking about real talk flag, we can go to the world court and do some things. Like for real. Like really make laws and establish legislative, judicial systems to help our people. But our people don't know that. We're not inclined to that, man. The people that are most celebrated in our system are in an order where they can't say that. For me, I'm not attached to an order. The NFL don't run me. The NFL stands for niggas police. They've been leasing our people off for years, and when we end up broke and destitute and broken, when the helmet off you, they done. But see, when they can't control you, that's when they black sheep you. And when you get black sheep, then you can't make any money anymore in their system. But W.E.B. Du Bois says, why are you
figure that they have to be a crook or robber? Why is it that the first break I even got as an actor was as a monster on a television show? When I've been auditioning for 30 roles for that same show as the boyfriend and as the other things, but they didn't want an African-American male to be on that show. I hate to say the name of the show, so I'm gonna leave it alone, but the only show that I was actually a positive person was on African-American show. TV1. I'm sitting there next to Eva Marcel, but on the other shows, I'm like, damn, I gotta play the vampire. And then, oh wait, we might let you live. You know, it's like, come on, man, we gotta get back into the stereotypes, gotta change the way they look at us, and gotta actually like help you, like you said, help each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I even got one of the shirts, man, Black Man Smile. You know what I'm saying? Like, Smile Black Man. I wore it the other day in Target and it had everybody looking at me crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I just smiled at it, you know what I mean? Like, that's all I had to do. Yeah.
Like everybody keeps saying, we have to spend money with each other. Like, you know, we all here right now, we all in position to make a lot of money. Some of us already made a lot of money. You know, we have to continue to spend money with each other. Like, we make the money, we get it here, and then we go over there and spend it over there every single time.
6 hours of black dollar
within 6 hours. So yeah, I really push that. We just need to spend money with each other and help each other, but it definitely comes with the money. Spending money with each other, keeping the money in this community. Every other culture do it. You got Chinatown, you got Little Italy, you got every single other culture spend money with each other. So we gotta do the same thing.
So we're getting ready to wrap it up. But I do want to do like a brief summary of some of the things that we discussed and some of the things that we said we're going to do. Obviously, Q, we mentioned that we're going to learn the legislative system, you know, and we're going to use we can use the same terminology that we use on the football field, the basketball court. Know every position, you know, from the chief of police to the mayor and things like that, because the knowledge that we will have, you know, so we're able to spread it to not only our fellow brothers, but also to our kids. You know, spend, you know, Stevie said, spend with, you know, the black-owned businesses. You know, because like I said, I mean, I know, like it was a stand in New Orleans, you know, they didn't spend $0 in one day. That was huge.
They shut down the mall. They shut down Baton Rouge Mall because nobody went to the mall that day.
So why we can't do that in Atlanta?
That's why.
You know? Why can't we?
We can't.
We have the power and influence here.
And you know, I keep hearing us say animals, they refer to us as animals. I'm gonna tell you one big group. I talk to my young people about this all the time. The word kid means baby goat or animals. Everybody that said kid up here. We gotta stop calling each other out of our name, man. We ain't nothing baby goat about us. Ain't nothing baby goat about us. And if we say in one word that the Bible is stated truly but not truly stated, then we gotta say, you never seen kid in the Bible. So why you calling our children kids when they are leaders and champions, head and not to tail, above not beneath? And I'm passionate about this because as our young people are transcending, and if we call them out their name, of course a police officer or anybody else out in the street gonna do it. We gotta start calling our children what they are. Young queen, young princess, young prince, young leader. And then they can walk with esteem. They can walk with what I call confidence. It's connected confidence with what the Creator gave you so that you can move and transcend in any area of your life. But our people, kiddo was in slave time. It's a strapping kiddo. He can, oh man, it's good stud. Like we were cattle. Because that's what a cow and a goat and a baby and all that is to them. So I think the psyche of what we speak and what we write down, the prefix to the word authority is author. When you author a thing, you give it authority to come to pass. We got to start writing down what vision we want for ourselves and our people and our children. But I had to say that about the kid thing because on this platform, we have so many people work with young people and we call them out their name. And we got to stop doing that.
I just want to say one thing. I know we're wrapping up, but I think the biggest issue in our community is pride and ego. I know the Q has Brothers United, and what is that, every first Tuesday? Every third Tuesday. I've never been, because it's a personal BS. And I'm disappointed in myself, because you can get some Jews, some Palestinians in the room, and their countries are warring with one another and over religion, and they can cut a check and handle business and go eat together afterwards. And we can have a small, minute issue and that affect millions of dollars being made because of ego. So once we realize it starts with me, and we each say that to ourselves, then things can change. If I'm here every third Tuesday, that means I gotta be here. Because the truth is, there's a lot of movements going on, but the issue is we ain't moving together. So if we're not moving together, then we like a snake with his head cut off anyway. See, the difference between the system and us is they're united. They come together and they make decisions, and that's how they move. We're not, so we look ignorant. And we're not. But if we just come together, then things change. So I hope every guy will get Q's information. Because next time you see me, I want to have a t-shirt on. Because it starts with me.
You got something to say?
Yeah, but I can say it loud. This is Big Bro, and that's, no, I don't need the mic, I'm good. Oh, okay, no, this sorry about that. This started getting personal. No, they're both of my big brothers to me. I've known Q since I moved to Atlanta and R, and they all embrace me. And sometimes the little brother can teach the big brother something, so I'm glad you said something as a man. I can take a man to finally admit that pride. But it's in the Bible. After pride is demise. That's a law. You know what I'm saying? I want to say that because I'm one of the most proudest people you ever meet because although I'm 10 years younger, I've been through a lot. I don't feel 20 nothing. I feel 40 something because I've been the head of my house. I've been taking care of my mom, my pops, and so since young. You know what I'm saying? So I've already had the stresses of mortgage and all this stuff on you. But I'm glad you was man enough in front of people, whoever watching, and just me. That right there is king. Like to say, I didn't go to my brother who's uniting. It's so evident, you know, I believe in signs and I believe in omens, and that his company, his movement is called Brothers United. We're brothers united, and your pride was keeping you disconnected only for God to bring you here today to unite with your brother. So I'm just glad you said that, because after pride comes demise in any situation, relationships, business, it's not going to be good. It's not even meant for us to really have as kings and queens of this nation. So I'm just glad you said that, and I just wanted to say in the mic that demise comes. You know, I don't care how much money you have. Like you said, you can still do your own thing. He can still do his own thing, and y'all will flourish separately. But I don't know the answers, but we all can say this. We agree that unifying is the first step that we need to take to making a change. So me being 10 years younger, and then there's somebody that's 10 years younger than me watching this, we can all now just pass down a jewel that we can't be prideful, and we have to unify. So thank you just for saying that. I appreciate it.
And I challenge you guys too, right? You guys all do music. Make music together. Like I'm not, if I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken, it was a song came out, Black Men United. Were you on that song? But it was, yeah, it was on the station I was listening to you maybe a few months back, and it came to the song Black Men United, and it had over 30, 40 artists on it, from Boys to Men to Gerald Levert, and that song was so powerful. It was so powerful. I was like, wow, man, like, where's this music at? Where's this music? I promise you. It was after the song came out. I was watching YouTube, and it came on after one of your songs, and I was like, yo, this song. And then I watched the video, and they showed the studio. They showed like just to play. There was over 40 different artists on Michael Jackson, everybody. And I was like, man, where's this music at? You know? So like, you know what I'm saying? You guys 10 years apart, but make music to make it feel so people can not go out and hate, but love. You know? So we're gonna open it up, you know, everybody talk, you know what I'm saying? But if anybody feel obligated to, you know, with any final comments, you know, concerns, or want to give contact information, man, feel free. You got something?
First and foremost, I think after listening to everybody speak, I wanted to make sure that everybody said there's a difference between being active and productive. There's a lot of people who are active who are doing absolutely nothing. You have to be productive. Everyone on this panel has talked about being productive and actively engaging within our community, with each other, and helping our young kings and queens understand their value and their worth. History will tell you that we built this nation. The funny thing about building a nation is those who build it know how to tear it apart. Because you know the infrastructure. Understand that this nation sits on our backs. The great house that the president lives in sits on our backs. You go to Egypt and look at the pyramid. That's on our backs. So we have the ability to now carry our community, our nation, each other to another place. The problem and the question now becomes, who will it be? And that's what everybody's asking, because that's pride. But what they need to think to themselves is, not who will it be, but let's do it collectively. And that's what we have to do. And it's really funny you brought up Brothers United, because I was talking to somebody at the label, and they said to me, I said to them, I said, yo, that song is dope.
10% of the population in this country. Per capita, we spend the most money than any other race in this country, outside of our own race. we have to, and I also wanted to say, like, I'm here to be a voice. You know what I mean? And I want y'all to hold me accountable. I want to continue to be a voice. And everybody here, black people, we need leaders. We need more leaders than ever. You know what I mean? Because every other race has leaders. And they're giving knowledge to their people and their kind all the time. So we need more leaders, and we need more knowledgeable leaders.
I was going to say, kind of piggybacking on Boss Man and Pimp Man, it really kind of just comes down to history, I think. You know, once we can unlearn all the things that we've learned in this system that we're growing up in, I think then we can kind of realize that, A, we've been in slavery on and off in history since the beginning of time, and we are the greatest people. And I think we'll realize that once we realize that where niggas comes from and where we come from, then, you know, we can start addressing each other properly and start treating each other properly, you know what I mean? So I think it just kind of comes back in history and really understanding why in every textbook our history begins in the 1700s. Why is that? Well, that's not the beginning of time though, but that's where our history begins. So definitely take a look at that.
First thing I'm gonna do is invest in the cordless mic.
You know, if we ever get to the point that we realize how much power and authority that we have as a people, the challenge is everybody else has realized it before we have. Their thought is, if we can keep them so that they won't read, they won't get the knowledge. If we can do this, they can't do that. Whenever we realize how much power and authority we have, why do you think they didn't want us to learn golf? Because they knew once we learned, we'd be better. Why do you think they didn't want us to learn stuff like the cross and swimming? Because once we learned it, they knew we would be better. Why do you think they don't want us to become lawyers? Because they know we'll become the judges. Why do you think? So when you understand the fact of how much authority we have, we were born with authority. We came into this earth with authority. Our children are being birthed smarter than we've ever seen them before. We're looking and telling our kids, y'all been here before. Because we are so smart. But whenever we learn how much authority we have, and I hate that I don't know the numbers on this, but here's the thought. If every dollar we spend could go through our community more than one time, in the Asian community, it goes through at least 10 times before it goes out. In the Hispanic community, it goes through at least 5 times before it goes out. In the white community, at least 3 times. In ours, maybe once. Why don't we go to our black doctors? Why don't we go to our black lawyers? Why don't we put our kids there? Because once we can learn how much authority we have, we're going to do exactly what they've been afraid of us doing all along. We will take over. Back to what my brother right here said, there's a book called Egyptian Antiquities. And what they were scared about the most when they came to Africa, when they didn't have running water and toilets in Europe, they saw pyramids that had electricity, it had running water, and they're wondering how savages, what they thought, while we were more advanced than them. Why the name algebra comes from a black man, but they'll never tell us that. Because they always knew we were more smarter than they were, and if we ever know the authority that we have, if we teach our kids that they are smarter, they'll know that they're smarter. And so my point is this. We should be doing music. I'm like my brother right here. I may not be able to sing, but I can harmonize. I can rock with you. I can go out and tip. I may not listen to all the music that everybody does, but I'll buy it because it's my brothers and sisters doing it. So before I'm going to buy somebody else's, I'm going to certainly buy it in my own community. And so that's what we have to get back to, knowing who we are and instilling that in our children. I tell my kids, there's nobody smarter than you, period. And once they believe that, guess how they start performing in school? Why in the world would they start offering a junior in high school free education wherever she wants to? Because she's been taught you're smarter than everybody. So what you tell them, that's what they're going to believe.
I just want to hit on this because we keep talking about the economic piece, and I'm telling you this is so huge for us. When we look at the word, I go back biblically because even though I don't subscribe to a religion like I was brought up on, because I feel like, how can you put God in a box with a religion when God created the box? I can only steal, kill, and destroy you if you're separated.
But the Bible says that the love of money is the root to not some evil, but all evil. So that's what we're really fighting against. People are so greedy for money that they don't care about our skin color. Well, this is not a race thing, man. This is economics. If we tackle this economic warfare and spiritual warfare collectively, that's how we win. Because I'm gonna tell you, the Bible can tell you also that money answers all things. So then now somebody could be confused. A lot of our young kings and queens are confused. I'm going to chase that check. Don't be on a paper chase, be on a purpose chase. Don't be money minded, be mission minded. Our people have been so caught up in chasing materialism. Our people have been caught up in esteeming one leader. Every time we build up one leader and they kill the head, the body dead. Like you were just saying, bro, we have to build horizontal instead of vertical. That way, the message of knowing your worth. I don't need to buy a Bentley because I am a Bentley. You see what I'm saying? So I don't need that to determine my worth and affirm my value. So our people need to start knowing their value, even the people that celebrate it. You know, I had my Rolex stolen, my gun stolen, 6 custom suits stolen right outside of my business, right here at Dream Cafe. I didn't do this to make money. I'm not making money at Dream Cafe. This is an empowerment center for my people, man. So if we didn't have this edifice to be able to do this and speak freely how we want to without having any militants, because I'm not mad at one white person, straight up, because you're not my enemy. This is economic and spiritual warfare. And if we understand that, it's a trinity, and I'm going to pass you the mic, that I abide by. The prefix of the word understanding is under. If you're always under someone else's ideology, theology, and whatever their vision is, you'll always be underneath it. It's understanding. The overstanding is what you gotta have. You have an overview of what's going on. But the most important standing you gotta get is the understanding. When you have understanding, it ain't nothing nobody can tell you about who you are, whose you are, where you're going, what your purpose and gift is. Why would a lion go jump in the ocean and try to do what a shark is doing? It's not gonna work. So economic, spiritual warfare is what we gotta attack, my people. Bless up.
Man, that was awesome, man. I mean, I've learned so much from you guys, and it was, it was an honor to be able to moderate this, just hear the perspective of so many different people, with a voice. So I challenge each one of you guys to be productive, because like you said, that was key. And we can be saying we're gonna do a bunch of stuff, but productivity is the key. Doing everything we said, learning about the legislative system, spending money with black-owned businesses, and doing those things that are gonna at least put a dent in the situation, because it's not gonna happen overnight. We know that, but if we keep building, the football, we keep hitting the rock, sooner or later we're gonna break it, So I challenge you guys to be productive, and thank you. Yeah, thank you. And, until next time, bless.
What's up, this your girl Jonica, better known as Blue. I just want to give a great round of applause to the brothers that was up there speaking. They did a phenomenal job. Please understand that it's not just their fight. We as black women have to come together and speak on behalf of them, stand up for our people. It's getting real out here, so make sure you tune in to the next panel, which is going to be full of nothing but women, phenomenal, beautiful, intelligent, influential. You gotta tune in. Peace, baby.